Guys, there's an entire movement towards better habits led by today's sponsor, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that fills the void while you're ditching a bad habit. Fume is not a vape, but it gives you something to reach for when that craving hits. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural flavors with no nicotine and no batteries. Fume is not addictive, and you'll never have to charge it. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial, and it's designed with movable parts, which is great for fidgeting, giving your fingers plenty to do, which can be great for de-stressing. Fume continually invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, and it's backed by doctors right here in the U.S. Fume has served over 150,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For a limited time, head to tryfume.com and use my promo code Chael to get yourself 10% off of a journey pack. Scan the on-screen QR code or just click on the link below. I don't know if Jake Paul's ever got one wrong. Like, Jake Paul is a case for all the teasing you did, that if you're a fair person, you will look back and go, I was wrong. For whatever teasing or criticism you gave to Jake, which quite frankly would even extend to Logan, about him getting into boxing or making himself a main event or throwing money at it or promoting or whatever it is he's trying to do, whatever criticism you gave, you would look back and say, I was wrong. Great job. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take note of what you did, and I'm going to teach it to people in the future. Now, there is no such thing. You got Bad Guy Inc. University, and there is no such teacher out there. There is no college where you can major in fight promotion. There is no book in any library in the world that's written on fight promotion. And I'm just sharing with you that I'm going to have a discussion about Jake, but I will openly admit that he never got one wrong before, but he came out about Mike Tyson. And you got to understand the context of this. It was a response in lieu of the information that this will be sanctioned by the commission. And Jake said, well, one of us is going to have to die. Why does one of you have to die? Why? I don't want one of you to die. And by the way, if it was unsanctioned and it was an exhibition where you guys could come up with the rules, maybe you could put in a death clause. But having a commission, it's the exact opposite. Nobody's allowed to die. You cannot kill him. By the way, do you understand, if you kill him, I don't think they declare you the winner. I only know of one time that this ever happened. I can't remember, but I don't think that they made the guy the winner. I think they just canceled the whole thing, which in theory would probably be a loss. I mean, I get you'd want your winner's purse. You definitely didn't lose if that guy's. But you see the issue. Why does somebody have to die? And here's the real thing. Aside from tongue in cheek, this part, I'm very serious. What just changed? Because see, I don't see it. I don't see it, and I never saw it. Right now is the opportunity. Right now is the opportunity to tell us and convince us all there is no difference in an exhibition and a sanctioned fight, that a fight is a fight. That's what you said. That's what you said when it was an exhibition. That's what Mike said. That's what Mike said when it was an exhibition. And in the future, I suspect that MVP will be promoting exhibition matches. Exhibition is not a bad word. It's just a word in America that gets associated with something less than full competitiveness. But America's really never been educated on that word. I don't believe any of you in your sports careers have ever been taught that word. I don't believe any of your coaches stood in front of you, no matter what sport you did, and told you, well, in an exhibition, we do this, and or a sanction. I don't think so at all. So it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to come out and teach America for the future, which could pertain to yourself or even to MVP. I mean, right now is the time. Like, if the commission gets wise to this and unsanctions it, and you go, man, I got 80,000 tickets sold, and I got Netflix in my we're doing the match. Fair enough. But we've already said it's different. It's different now. The commission's here. Do you try harder? And which part do you try harder? Do you try harder to beat him, or you try harder defensively? Because you think he's trying harder offensively. I don't know. I don't have the answers to these questions. I'm just sharing with you that this statement was made by Jake, and I don't really know what to make of it. So, I don't know the rules in Texas. I've never looked them up, and I'm not going to. But I will share with you that you guys will often hear the unified rules, or you'll hear the Queen Berries rules, or you hear the ABC rules. And just so you understand, that has to do with parameters of legality of techniques that can be used within the match. It does not. When you have the unified rules, you'll hear that term a lot. Unified rules. Now, this is you hear it. Boxing doesn't hear. They hear something, but it's the same commission. I'm only sharing with you. When you hear that, your mind could be misled to think no matter where in the country you are, if it falls under the Associated Boxing Commission, that it's the same rules. And it's not. Administratively, there's many of nuances that are unique to each and every jurisdiction. Administratively. In Oregon, for example, and in 2004, by the way, a promoter could come in and he could be more restrictive with the rules. The rules that were laid out for MMA, you could be more restrictive than what the commission was going to allow, but you could not be less restrictive. And I bring that to you because there's got to be a bylaw like that in Texas. I mean, there just simply must be. It was very weird within the same paragraph, right, or within the same page, a different paragraph, to say the commission is in fact going to sanction this, and we're going to do 8 2-minute rounds with a 1-minute rest. And the only reason I say that is we don't do professional boxing in 8 rounds of 2 minutes apiece. Anywhere is that contested. In fact, the one and only time that I've ever seen it with my own eyes was an exhibition held in California between Tyson and Roy Jones, but it was an exhibition. When you bring the commission in, that is to enforce the rules. And there isn't a set of rules for 8 rounds of 2 minutes with 60 seconds off. Small observation by me. It got done. It's being done. There's a first time for everything. I'm just sharing for you that I found that interesting that within the same statement of we do in fact have a commission who is now going to enforce rules that we just made up. I thought it was a little bit interesting. I think they're good for Mike. I don't know why you're going to try harder and know where you're going to try less. Now, I got that and I was influenced in my career greatly by Dan Henderson. And Dan Henderson used that statement before he fought Daniel Cormier. Dan was coming off of a loss. People say, well, you're coming off of a loss. How's that going to affect the match? And Dan didn't even understand the question. He said, if I was coming off a win, I'm not going to try harder. Coming off a loss, I'm not going to try less hard. It's the same thing. It's a brand new match. It's me and him and his skills. I just remember that. I remember it stuck with me. I thought it was motivational. I don't know what would change between an exhibition match and a sanctioned match. Oh, and by the way, I don't have to. I'm not the one doing it. That's why I'm not questioning Jake. If he's sharing his own motivation with us and it just ticked up a notch, that's interesting to me. I would like to hear more about that. But I would need to hear more about that because I heard plenty of things said by he and Mike when it was under exhibition rules. So it's very fair to ask for a little bit of clarity. Does someone really have to die?